How's it going, everyone? Austin Honecker here. I just wanted to come on here for a while and give them a review for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Rampage from 2 nights ago, which was September 30th, 2022. I gotta say, it was awesome from start to finish. For the matches, match 1, it was the Acclaimed, which are Max Caster and Anthony Bowens, versus Private Party, which are Mark Quinn and Isaiah Cassidy, versus The Butcher and the Blade in a 3-way tag team match for the AEW tag team titles. That was a great match, but the ending to it, the Acclaimed went over and retained the AEW tag team titles, cause Anthony Bowens pinned the Blade with the mic drop from Max Caster. Now, before the match, as Private Party, which are Mark Quinn and Isaiah Cassidy, and The Butcher and the Blade, were already out in the ring, the Acclaimed, which are Max Caster and Anthony Bowens, along with Billy Gunn, came out, and Max Caster done a rap on Private Party and The Butcher and the Blade, and Anthony Bowens said his signature line, "Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the Acclaimed have arrived." And Anthony Bowens done his signature gesture saying, "Scissor me daddy ass." So Billy Gunn and Anthony Bowens done the "Scissor me daddy ass" gesture and everything. That was cool. That was after the match, by the way. That was before the match, by the way. And, excuse me. Match 2, it was Lee Moriarty versus Fuego del Sol. That was a squash match, but the ending to it, Lee Moriarty went over with the Border City Stretch. Now, after the match, as Lee Moriarty was celebrating his victory, Stokely Hathaway and W. Morrissey came into the ring, and W. Morrissey picked Fuego del Sol up and executed the choke slam to Fuego del Sol and laid him out. And then the Firm, which are Stokely Hathaway, Lee Moriarty, and W. Morrissey, left the ring and went backstage while Fuego del Sol was laid out and everything. That was cool. That was after the match, by the way. Match 3, it was Jamie Hayter versus Willow Nightingale. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Jamie Hayter went over with the short arm clothesline. And match 4, it was And match 4, which was the main event, it was Roosh versus John Silver. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Roosh went over with the bull's horns. Now, after the match, as Alex Reynolds was tending to John Silver, Andrade El Idolo and Roosh ganged up on Alex Reynolds and was beating the shit out of him, and then the Dark Order, the other members of the Dark Order, which are Evil Uno and 10, came to the aid of 2 of the other members of the Dark Order, which are John Silver and Alex Reynolds, and a brawl ensued. And then the Butcher and the Blade came out to the aid of Andrade El Idolo, Roosh, and Jose the Assistant. And then Hangman Page came to the aid of the Dark Order. And a brawl still ensued and everything. And Hangman Page beat the shit out of Andrade El Idolo, Roosh, and Jose the Assistant. And everything. That was cool. That was after the match, by the way. That was match 4 in the main event, by the way. Now, besides all that, Lexi Nair interviewed the Firm, which are Stokely Hathaway, Colton Gunn, Austin Gunn, and W. Morrissey. Well, Lexi Nair brought up about the Gunn Club, which are Colton and Austin Gunn, their comments about FTR, which are Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler, and everything, and Colton and Austin Gunn of the Gunn Club and the Firm were talking shit about FTR, talking about how they hadn't been on TV in a long time and how they get more TV time than FTR does, and talked about how FTR have been the number one contenders since April but haven't been making moves and everything, and then talked about how they're going to jump ahead of FTR and become the AEW Tag Team Champions and everything. And well, Colton and Austin Gunn were making jokes about Ring of Honor Tag Team titles, AAA Tag Team titles, and IWGP Tag Team titles, but Stokely Hathaway had to correct them and everything. Which all that was cool. Lexi Nair interviewed Jade Cargill and the Baddies, which are Kiera Hogan and Layla Gray. Well, Lexi Nair brought up to Jade Cargill about rapper Trina talking about how Jade Cargill was the new baddest bitch and everything, and Jade Cargill informed Lexi Nair that Trina did name her the new baddest bitch and everything, and then Jade Cargill was talking about how she was tired of beating the shit out of no competition, and talked about how she wanted competition and everything and wanted people to step up to face her to give her competition and everything. And then the Beasts of Burdens, which are Vicky Guerrero, Nyla Rose, and Marina Shafir, came along, and Vicky Guerrero was saying, Jade, I think you fail to realize you have never beaten my client, Nyla Rose. And Jade Cargill said, I may not have pinned her, but I still won. And then Nyla Rose was saying, Jade, you want competition? You got it. Because you're afraid of me. And I will beat that ass. And I will take your TBS women's title off of you. And everything. And then Jade Cargill was saying, well, Nyla? Well, Jade Cargill was talking all kinds of shit, and then Marina Shafir got in the face of Jade Cargill, but Vicky Guerrero held Marina Shafir back, and Jade Cargill said, Nyla, you want a shot at the TBS women's title? You got it. But it's going to be on my time, not yours. Then Vicky Guerrero said, we'll be waiting. And then Vicky Guerrero took off her jacket and threw it at Layla Gray, and Vicky Guerrero said, oh, and one more thing. Cover yourself. So the Beasts of Burdens, which are Vicky Guerrero, Nyla Rose, and Marina Shafir, left, while Jade Cargill and the Baddies, which are Kiera Hogan and Layla Gray, were looking on, and Jade Cargill was saying that there wasn't nothing wrong with Layla Gray and everything, and Layla Gray didn't understand it either and everything. That was cool. Lexi Nair interviewed Hangman Page and the Dark Order, which are Evil Uno and 10, and, well, Lexi Nair brought up on October 18th on AEW Dynamite, Jon Moxley will be defending the AEW title against Hangman Page. Well, Hangman Page was saying, yeah, Lexi, I am going up against Jon Moxley for the AEW title. This is a match I've been looking forward to for a long time. And I am going to beat Jon Moxley, and I'm going to come out the AEW champion for the second time. And Evil Uno was saying, and we'll be right in your corner, Hangman. And Hangman Page was getting ready to talk, but Los Ingobernables, and Los Ingobernables, which are Andrade El Idolo, Roosh, and Jose the Assistant came along, and Jose the Assistant wanted to speak with Ten, and Jose the Assistant had footage played and saw that Ten got eliminated and everything, and then Evil Uno was talking about how it was ridiculous and everything, and then Andrade El Idolo was saying, Ten, I can take you to new heights in your career. How about it? How about this? We face off in the late great Brody Lee's last match, where the late great Brody Lee had his last match and everything, and then Andrade El Idolo was saying, and in this match, when I beat you, I take your mask. And Andrade El Idolo held out his hand to shake Ten's hand, and Ten shook Andrade El Idolo's hand, and Andrade El Idolo was getting ready to leave, but Ten said, under one condition, when I beat you, you leave AEW forever. And Evil Uno started laughing and everything, and talked about how it was great and everything, and so Hangman Page and the Dark Order, which are Evil Uno and Ten, left, while Los Ingobernables, which are Andrade El Idolo, Roosh, and Jose the Assistant, were looking on and everything, and then the Firm, which are Stokely Hathaway and Ethan Page, came along, and Stokely Hathaway was saying, Andrade, I don't mean to be a snitch, and I don't like to give bad news, but I have some bad news. Then Ethan Page was saying, you want to talk about how you're the boss? And Jose the Assistant was saying, well, Ethan Page was talking to Jose the Assistant and talking about, Ethan Page was saying, so you're the boss there, Jose? Jose the Assistant said, no, I'm not the boss. Andrade is the boss. Ethan Page was saying, well, Andrade, since you're the boss, you need to be a little more firm with your employees. Because Stokely and I, we noticed some shit going on. We noticed some contract tampering between Private Party, which are Mark Quinn and Isaiah Cassidy, and we noticed some contract tampering between Private Party and Matt Hardy. So you may want to check it out and do something about it. Then Stokely Hathaway and Ethan Page left, and Andrade and Los Ingobernables, which are Andrade El Idolo and Jose the Assistant. I don't even know why I said Roosh, because Roosh wasn't in this segment, but it's all good. We all botch sometimes, but anyways, Los Ingobernables, which are Andrade El Idolo and Jose the Assistant, were looking on and everything. That was cool. Samoa Joe and Wardlow cut a promo talking about how they've been on a path of destruction and singles competition and tag team competition, and talked about whoever gets in their way, they're going to destroy them and cause all kinds of destruction and everything. That was cool. Ryan Nemeth came out to the ring and cut a promo talking about how Philadelphia, Pennsylvania sucks, and how Rocky Balboa wasn't real, and how Benjamin Franklin came to the United States to die, and talked about how Philadelphia, Pennsylvania was known for ECW, extremely crappy wrestling and everything. And as Ryan Nemeth was talking shit about Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Hook came out to the ring, and as soon as Hook got in the ring, Hook attacked Ryan Nemeth, beating the shit out of him, and Hook ended up choking out Ryan Nemeth with the red rum, and then after Hook choked Ryan Nemeth out, Hook left the ring, and the Trust Busters, which are Ari Daivari, Sonny Kiss, and Jeeves K, came out, and Ari Daivari ordered Jeeves K to drop the plate with the envelope on it on stage, and so the Trust Busters, which are Ari Daivari, Sonny Kiss, and Jeeves K, left and went backstage, and Hook picked up the envelope and walked backstage himself and everything. That was cool. AEW aired a vignette of the build-up of the match between Jon Moxley versus Hangman Page for the AEW title. That was cool. Mark Henry interviewed John Silver along with Alex Reynolds, and Roosh along with Andrade El Idolo and Jose the Assistant. Well, Mark Henry brought up about Los Ingobernables being a pain in the Dark Order's ass and everything, and talked about how Andrade El Idolo has been trying to steal 10 from the Dark Order and everything, and asked John Silver what his thoughts on it was, and John Silver was saying, well, Mark, I'm going to say this right now. This little crush that Andrade, Jose, and Roosh have on 10, it's gotten a little creepy. And then Alex Reynolds was saying, also, Mark, if Andrade, Jose, and Roosh think they're going to break up the Dark Order, they got another thing coming. Because the Dark Order is like family. And we're not going to be broken apart. So, give it up now, boys. And John Silver was talking about how he was going to kick Roosh's ass and everything. And then Jose, the assistant, was talking about how Roosh was going to kick John Silver's ass and everything. And Andrade El Idolo was talking shit and everything as well. And then Roosh was talking about how he was going to kick John Silver's ass and everything as well. And then Mark Henry said his signature line, well, looks like there's been enough talk. It's time for the main event and everything. That was cool. The Best Friends, which are Trent Beretta, Chuck Taylor, Rocky Romero, and Danhausen, cut a promo, and Trent Beretta was talking about how he learned from his mother Sue to never hit a man in the head with a hammer and everything, and talked about how Pac broke Mother Sue's rule by hitting Orange Cassidy in the head with the hammer, and talked about how Orange Cassidy was out of action for the time being, and Trent Beretta was talking about how he was going to kick Pac's ass and take the AEW All-Atlantic title from him at Battle of the Belts 4 and everything. And then, so the Best Friends, which are Trent Beretta, Chuck Taylor, Rocky Romero, and Danhausen, put their hands together and everything. That was cool. Now, besides all that, Jim Ross, Tony Schiavone, and Excalibur done commentary throughout the whole show. They done awesome as usual. The referees for the event were Rick Knox, Bryce Remsburg, Stephon Smith, and Aubrey Edwards. Okay. Rick Knox refereed the match between the Acclaimed versus Private Party versus the Butcher and the Blade in a three-way tag team match for the AEW tag team titles. Stephon Smith refereed the match between Lee Moriarty versus Fuego del Sol. Aubrey Edwards refereed the match between Jamie Hayter versus Willow Nightingale. And Bryce Remsburg refereed the match between Roosh versus John Silver. All the referees done awesome as usual. Now, the match card that's been announced for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite's anniversary show, three-year anniversary show, Wednesday night, it's going to be the Jericho Appreciation Society, which are Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara versus Bryan Danielson and Daniel Garcia. Jay Lethal versus Darby Allin. MJF versus Wheeler Yuta. Luchasaurus versus a local competitor. And Serena Deeb, Jamie Hayter, and Penelope Ford versus Toni Storm, Athena, and Willow Nightingale. Those are the matches that have been announced so far. And besides the matches that have been announced so far, Billy Gunn and the Acclaimed, which are Max Caster and Anthony Bowens, will be appearing live to celebrate National Scissoring Day. So the match card for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite's 3-year anniversary show this Wednesday night looks like it's going to be awesome. I can't wait to see it, and I'm looking forward to it. And the match card that's been announced for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Rampage Friday night, it's going to be Andrade El Idolo versus 10 in a mask versus career match. So the stipulation to that match, if Andrade El Idolo wins, 10 has to unmask. But if 10 wins, Andrade El Idolo will have to leave AEW forever. So the match card that's been announced so far for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Rampage for Friday night looks like it's going to be awesome. I can't wait to see it, and I'm looking forward to it. But anyway, I just wanted to come on here for a while and give my review for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Rampage from 2 nights ago, which was September 30th, 2022. Like I said, it was awesome from start to finish. And with that being said, my name is Austin Honecker, and I will catch your ass down the road. Peace out.